First, a fragment out of Miami months from now, the dead man explaining himself the only way he knew how. Boy, the flatline would tell him months later in Miami.
Boy, I'm like them huge fucking lizards, you know? Had themself two goddamn brains, one in the head and one by the tailbone, kept the hind legs moving. Hit that black stuff and old tailbrain just kept right on keeping on.
On the sprawl, Case turns on the tensor lamp, slots the dead man's ROM, and jacks in to meet his partner for the first time. He turned on the tensor beside the Hosaka. The crisp circle of light fell directly on the flatline's construct. He slotted some ice, connected the construct, and jacked in. It was exactly the sensation of someone reading over his shoulder. He coughed. "McCoy, that you, man." His throat was tight.
Hey, bro,
Said a directionless voice. "It's Case, man, remember."
Miami Joe boy quick study.
"What's the last thing you remember before I spoke to you, Dix?"
Nothing.
"Hang on." He disconnected the construct. The presence was gone. He reconnected it. "Who am I?"
You got me hung, Jack. Who the fuck are you?
"Kate, your buddy. Partner, what's happening, man?"
Good question.
"Remember being here a second ago?"
No.
"Know how a ROM personality matrix works?"
Sure, bro. It's a firmware construct.
"So I jack it into the bank I'm using. I can give it sequential, real-time memory,"
Guess so.
said the construct. "Okay, Dix, you are a ROM construct. Got me?"
If you say so.
said the construct.
Who are you?
"Case,"
Miami.
said the voice.
Joe boy quick study.
"Right. And for starts, Dix, you and me, we're going to sleaze over to London Grid and access a little data. You game for that?"
You gonna tell me I got a choice, boy?
"You want you a paradise," the flatline advised, when Case had explained his situation.
Check Copenhagen, fringes of the university section.
The voice recited coordinates as he punched. They found their paradise, a pirate's paradise, on the jumbled border of a low-security academic grid. At first glance it resembled the kind of graffiti student operators sometimes left at the junctions of grid lines, faint glyphs of colored light that shimmered against the confused outlines of a dozen arts faculties.
There.
Said the flatline.
The blue one. Make it out? That's an entry code for Bell Europa. Fresh, too. Bell get in here soon and read the whole damn board. Change any codes they find posted. Kids'll steal the new ones tomorrow.
Case tapped his way into Bell Europa and switched to a standard phone code. With the flatline's help, he connected with the London database that Molly claimed was Armitage's.
Here?
Said the voice.
I'll do it for you.
The flatline began to chant a series of digits, Case keying them on his deck, trying to catch the pauses the construct used to indicate timing. It took 3 tries.
Big deal?
Said the flat.
No, I said all.
Scan this shit, Case told the Hosaka. Sift for owner's personal history. The neuroelectronic scrawls of the paradise vanished, replaced by a simple lozenge of white light. Contents are primarily video recordings of post-war military trials, said the distant voice of the Hosaka. Central figure is Colonel Willis Cordo. Showed already, Case said. A man's face filled the screen. The eyes were Armitage's. Later, jacked into the Matrix, Case checks in on the construct the ROM ghost of a dead cowboy, McCoy Polly the Dixie flatline. Cyberspace, as the deck presented it, had no particular relationship with the deck's physical whereabouts. When Case jacked in, he opened his eyes to the familiar configuration of the Eastern Seaboard Fission Authority's Aztec pyramid of data. "How you doing, Dixie?"
I'm dead, Case. Got enough time in on this Hosaka to figure that one.
"How's it feel?"
It doesn't.
"Bother you?"
What bothers me is nothing does.
"How's that?"
Had me this buddy in the Russian camp, Siberia. His thumb was frostbit. Medics came by and they cut it off. Month later he's tossing all night. Elroy, I said, what's eating you? Goddamn thumb's itching, he says. So I told him, scratch it. McCoy, he says, it's the other goddamn thumb.
When the construct laughed, it came through as something else, not laughter, but a stab of cold down Case's spine.
Do me a favor, boy.
"What's that, Dix?"
This scam of yours, when it's over, you erase this goddamn thing.
Deeper into the work now, Case asks the flatline the question that killed him once already, what it's like to crack an AI. He jacked in. Dixie,
Yeah.
you ever try to crack an AI?
Sure, I flatlined. First time, I was larking jacked up real high out by Rio heavy commerce sector. Big biz multinationals. Government of Brazil lit up like a Christmas tree. Just larking around, you know. And then I started picking up on this one cube, maybe 3 levels higher up. Jacked up there and made a pass.
What did it look like, the visual?
White cube?
How'd you know it was an AI?
How'd I know? Jesus. It was the densest ice I'd ever seen. So what else was it? The military down there don't have anything like that. Anyway, I jacked out and told my computer to look it up.
Yeah.
It was on the Turing Registry. AI. Frog Company owned its Rio mainframe.
Case chewed his lower lip and gazed out across the plateaus of the Eastern Seaboard Fission Authority into the infinite neuroelectronic void of the Matrix. Tessier Ashpool Dixie.
Tessier, yeah.
And you went back.
Sure, I was crazy. Figured I'd try to cut it. Hit the first strata, and that's all she wrote. My Joe-boy smelled the skin frying and pulled the trodes off me. Mean shit, that ice.
And your EG was flat.
Well, that's the stuff of legend, ain't it?
Case jacked out. Shit. He said. How do you think Dixie got himself flatlined, trying to buzz an AI? Great. Go on. She said. The two of you are supposed to be dynamite, right? Dix? Case. I want to have a look at an AI and burn. Can you think of any reason not to?
Not unless you got a morbid fear of death, no.
Case punched for the Swiss banking sector, feeling a wave of exhilaration as cyberspace shivered, blurred, gelled. The Eastern Seaboard Fission Authority was gone, replaced by the cool geometric intricacy of Zurich commercial banking. He punched again for burn.
Up.
The construct said.
It'll be high.
They ascended lattices of light, levels strobing, a blue flicker. That'll be it, Case thought. Wintermute was a simple cube of white light, that very simplicity suggesting extreme complexity.
Don't look much, does it?
The flatline said.
But just you try and touch it.
I'm going in for a pass, Dixie.
Be my guest.
Case punched to within 4 grid points of the cube. Its blank face, towering above him now, began to seethe with faint internal shadows, as though 1,000 dancers whirled behind a vast sheet of frosted glass.
Knows we're here?
The flatline observed. Case punched again. Once, they jumped forward by a single grid point. A stippled gray circle formed on the face of the cube.
Back off fast?
The gray area bulged smoothly, became a sphere, and detached itself from the cube. Case felt the edge of the deck sting his palm as he slapped Max Ravars. The matrix blurred backward. They plunged down a twilight shaft of Swiss banks. He looked up. The sphere was darker now, gaining on him, falling.
Jack out.
The flatline said. The dark came down like a hammer. Climbing the ladder toward Tessier Ashpool, Case slots the Chinese icebreaker, and they puzzle over what an AI even wants. It took 3 more jumps up the ladder before he reached Tessier Ashpool. Dixie, he said, jacking in. What do you know about Chinese virus programs?
Not a whole hell of a lot.
Ever hear of a grading system like Quang Mark 11?
No.
Case sighed. Well, I got a user-friendly Chinese icebreaker here, a one-shot cassette. Some people in Frankfurt say it'll cut an AI.
Possible. Sure, if it's military.
Looks like it. Listen, Dix, and give me the benefit of your background, okay? Armitage seems to be setting up a run on an AI that belongs to Tessier Ashpool. The mainframe's in Bern, but it's linked with another one in Rio. The one in Rio is the one that flatlined you, that first time. So it looks like they link via Straylight, the TA home base, down the end of the spindle, and we're supposed to cut our way in with the Chinese icebreaker. So if Wintermute's backing the whole show, it's paying us to burn it. It's burning itself. And something that calls itself Wintermute is trying to get on my good side, get me to maybe shaft Armitage. What goes?
Motive.
The construct said.
Real motive problem with an AI, not human C.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Nope. I mean, it's not human, and you can't get a handle on it. Me, I'm not human either, but I respond like one. See.
Wait a sec, Case said. Are you sentient or not?
Well, it feels like I am, kid, but I'm really just a bunch of ROM. It's one of them. Philosophical questions, I guess.
The ugly laughter sensation rattled down Case's spine.
But I ain't likely to write you no poem if you follow me. Your AI, it just might, but it ain't no way human.
So you figure we can't get on to its motive.
It own itself.
Swiss citizen, but TA own the basic software in the mainframe.
That's a good one.
The construct said.
Like, I own your brain and what you know, but your thoughts have Swiss citizenship. Sure, lots of luck, AI.
So it's getting ready to burn itself. Case began to punch the deck nervously, at random. The matrix blurred, resolved, and he saw the complex of pink spheres representing a Sikkim steel combine.
Autonomy, that's the boogaboo where your AIs are concerned. My guess, Case, you're going in there to cut the hardwired shackles that keep this baby from getting any smarter. And I can't see how you distinguish, say, between a move the parent company makes and some move the AI makes on its own, so that's maybe where the confusion comes in.
Again the non-laugh.
See, those things, they can work real hard, buy themselves time to write cookbooks or whatever. But the nanosecond, that one starts figuring out ways to make itself smarter, Turing will wipe it. Nobody trusts those fuckers, you know that. Every AI ever built has an electromagnetic shotgun wired to its forehead.
Case glared at the pink spheres of Sikkim. Okay, he said finally. I'm slotting this virus. I want you to scan its instruction face and tell me what you think. The half sense of someone reading over his shoulder was gone for a few seconds, then returned.
Hot shit, Case. It's a slow virus. Takes 6 hours estimated to crack a military target.
Or an AI, he sighed. Can we run it?
Sure.
The construct said.
Unless you got a morbid fear of dying.
Sometimes you repeat yourself, man.
It's my nature.
Up on Freeside, with Molly gone dark somewhere in the night, Case rides the dead man in on a phone line to find her. Case listened to faint static while Malcolm attached the simple phone link. Ice this, he told the Hosaka when he heard it beep. You are speaking from a heavily monitored location. The computer advised Premley. Fuck it, he said. No ice, access the construct. Dixie.
Hey.
The flat line spoke through the Hosaka's voice chip, the carefully engineered accent lost entirely. Dix, you're about to punch your way in here and get something for me. You can be as blunt as you want. Molly's in here somewhere and I want to know where. I'm in 335 EW, the Intercontinental. She was registered here too, but I don't know what name she was using. Ride in on this phone and do their records for me.
No sooner said.
The flatline said. Case heard the white sound of the invasion. He smiled.
Doan, Rose Colodny, checked out. Take me a few minutes to screw their security net deep enough to get a fix.
Go. The phone whined and clicked with the construct's efforts. Case carried it back into the room and put the receiver face up on the temper foam. He went into the bathroom and brushed his teeth. As he was stepping back out, the monitor on the room's Braun audiovisual complex lit up, a Japanese pop star reclining against metallic cushions. An unseen interviewer asked a question in German. Case stared. The screen jumped with jags of blue interference. Case, baby, you lose your mind, man. The voice was slow, familiar. The glass wall of the balcony clicked in with its view of Desiderata, but the street scene blurred, twisted, became the interior of the Jar de the Chiba, empty. Red neon replicated to scratched infinity in the mirrored walls. Lunny Zone stepped forward, tall and cadaverous, moving with the slow undersea grace of his addiction. He stood alone among the square tables, his hands in the pockets of his gray sharkskin slacks. Really, man, you're looking very scattered. The voice came from the bronze speakers. Winter me, Case said. The pimp shrugged languidly and smiled. Where's Molly? Never you mind, you're screwing up tonight, Case. The flatline's ringing bells all over Freeside. I didn't think you'd do that, man. It's outside the profile. So tell me where she is, and I'll call him off. Zone shook his head. You can't keep too good track of your women, can you, Case? Keep losing him, one way or another. I'll bring this thing down around your ears, Case said. No, you aren't that kind, man. I know that. You know something, Case. I figure you've got it figured out that it was me told Dean to off that little cunt of yours in Chiba. Don't, Case said, taking an involuntary step toward the window. But I didn't. What's it matter, though? How much does it really matter to Mr. Case? Quit kidding yourself. I know you're Linda, man. I know all the Lindas. Lindas are a generic product in my line of work. Know why she decided to rip you off. Love, so you'd give a shit. Love. Wanna talk love. She loved you, I know that. For the little she was worth, she loved you. You couldn't handle it. She's dead. Case's fist glanced off the glass. Don't fuck up the hands, man. Soon you punch deck. Zone vanished, replaced by Freeside Night and the lights of the condos. The bronze shut off. From the bed, the phone bleated steadily.
Case.
The flatline was waiting.
Where you been? I got it, but it isn't much.
The construct rattled off an address.
Place had some weird ice around it for a nightclub. That's all I could get without leaving a calling card.
Okay, Case said. Tell the Hosaka to tell Malcolm to disconnect the modem. Thanks, Dix.
A pleasure.
The run begins. Case jacks in over the Tessier, Ashpool ice, and the flatline shows him what he could do when he was alive. Case put the trodes on and jacked in. Dixie. The Matrix showed him the pink spheres of the steel combine in Sikkim.
What you getting up to, boy? I've been hearing lurid stories. Hosaka's patched into a twin bank on your boss's boat now. Really hoppin'. You pull some Turing heat.
Yeah, but Wintermute killed M.
Well, that won't hold him long. Plenty more where those came from. Be up here in force. Bet their decks are all over this grid sector like flies on shit. And your boss, Case, he says go. He says run it and run it now.
Case punched for the Freeside coordinates.
Let me take that a sec, Case.
The Matrix blurred and phased as the flatline executed an intricate series of jumps with a speed and accuracy that made Case wince with envy. Shixie.
Hey boy, I was that good when I was alive. You ain't seen nothing. No hands!
That's it, huh? Big green rectangle off left.
You got it. Corporate core data for Tessier, Ashpool SA, and that ice is generated by their two friendly AIs. On par with anything in the military sector. Looks to me, that's King Hell Ice, Case, black as the grave and slick as glass. Fry your brain soon as look at you. We get any closer now, it'll have tracers up our ass and out both ears, be telling the boys in the TA boardroom the size of your shoes and how long your dick.
This isn't looking so hot, is it? I mean, the Turings are on it. I was thinking maybe we should try to bail out. I can take you.
Yeah, no shit. You don't want to see what that Chinese program can do.
Case stared at the green walls of the TA ice. Well, screw it. Yeah, we run.
Slot it.
Hey, Malcolm, Case said, jacking out. I'm probably going to be under the trodes for maybe 8 hours straight. Malcolm was smoking again. The cabin was swimming in smoke. So I can't get to the head. No problem. The Zionite executed a high forward somersault and rummaged through the contents of a zippered mesh bag, coming up with a coil of transparent tubing and something else, something sealed in a sterile bubble pack. He called it a Texas catheter, and Case didn't like it at all. He slotted the Chinese virus, paused, then drove it home. Okay, he said. We're on. Listen, Malcolm, if it gets really funny, you can grab my left wrist. I'll feel it. Otherwise, I guess you do what the Hosaka tells you, okay? Sure. Malcolm lit a fresh joint. And turn the scrubber up. I don't want that shit tangling with my neurotransmitters. I got a bad hangover as it is. Malcolm grinned. Case jacked back in.
Christ on a crutch.
The flatline said.
Take a look at this.
The Chinese virus was unfolding around them. Polychrome shadow, countless translucent layers shifting and recombining. Protein, enormous, it towered above them, blotting out the void.
Big mother.
The flatline said. I'm going to check Molly. Case said, tapping the SimStim switch. He flipped.
Boy, that is one mean piece of software. Hottest thing since sliced bread. That goddamn thing's invisible. I just now rented 20 seconds on that little pink box. 4 jumps left of the TA ice. Had a look at what we look like. We don't. We're not there.
Case searched the matrix around the Tessier Ashpool ice until he found the pink structure, a standard commercial unit, and punched in closer to it. Maybe it's defective.
Maybe, but I doubt it. Our baby's military, though. And new. It just doesn't register. If it did, we'd read as some kind of Chinese sneak attack. But nobody's twigged to us at all. Maybe not even the folks in Straylight.
Case watched the blank wall that screened Straylight. Well, he said, that's an advantage, right?
Maybe.
The construct approximated laughter. Case winced at the sensation.
I checked old Quang 11 out again for you, boy. It's real friendly, long as you're on the trigger end, just polite and helpful as can be. Speaks good English. Too, you ever hear of slow virus before?
No.
I did once. Just an idea back then. But that's what old Quang's all about. This ain't bore and inject. It's more like we interface with the ice so slow, the ice doesn't feel it. The face of the Quang logics kind of sleazes up to the target and mutates, so it gets to be exactly like the ice fabric. Then we lock on and the main programs cut in, start talking circles round the logics in the ice. We go Siamese twin on him before they even get restless.
The flatline laughed. Wish you weren't so damn jolly today, man. That laugh of yours sort of gets me in the spine.
Too bad,
the flatline said.
Old dead man needs his laughs.
Case slapped the SimStim switch. A few seconds of black silence later, the construct is keeping score.
You trying to break my record, son?
The flatline asked.
You were brain dead again 5 seconds.
Case said and hit the SimStim switch. The Chinese program goes dark at its core, and the sting takes shape, the thing they will ride into Tessier Ashpool. Quang grade Mark 11 was growing. Dixie, you think this thing'll work?
Does a bear shit in the woods?
The flatline punched them up through shifting rainbow strata. Something dark was forming at the core of the Chinese program. The density of information overwhelmed the fabric of the matrix, triggering hypnagogic images, faint kaleidoscopic angles centered into a silver-black focal point. Case watched childhood symbols of evil and bad luck tumble out along translucent planes, swastikas, skulls and crossbones, dice-flashing snake eyes. If he looked directly at that null point, no outline would form. It took a dozen quick, peripheral takes before he had it, a shark thing gleaming like obsidian, the black mirrors of its flanks reflecting faint distant lights that bore no relationship to the matrix around it.
That's the sting,
the construct said.
When Quang's good and Bella tight with the Tessier, Ashpool core were reading that through.
You were right, Dix. There's some kind of manual override on the hardwiring that keeps Wintermute under control. However much he is under control, he added.
The
construct said.
Watch that, I keep telling you.
It's a code, a word, he said. Somebody has to speak it into a fancy terminal in a certain room while we take care of whatever's waiting for us behind that ice.
Well, you got time to kill, kid,
the flatline said.
All Quang's slow but steady.
Case jacked out. While Case works, the flatline patches a call through the boss upstairs on the Haniwa.
Got your boss on hold,
the flatline said.
He's coming through on the twin Hosaka in that boat upstairs, the one that's riding us piggy back. Called the Haniwa.
I know, Case said absently. I saw it. With hours to kill before Quang bites, the dead man lays out everything he has pieced together about the family asleep inside Straylight. Case jacked in and flipped for the matrix.
Get my wire.
Yeah. He saw that the Chinese program had grown. Delicate arches of shifting polychrome were nearing the TA ice.
Well, it's getting stickier,
the flatline said.
Your boss wiped the bank on that other Hosaka and damn near took ours with it. But your pal Wintermute put me on to something there before it went black. The reason Straylight's not exactly hopping with Tessier Ashpools is that they're mostly in cold sleep. There's a law firm in London keeps track of their powers of attorney. Has to know who's awake and exactly when. Armitage was routing the transmissions from London to Straylight through the Hosaka on the yacht. Incidentally, they know the old man's dead.
Who knows?
The law firm and TA. He had a medical remote planted in his sternum. Not that your girl's dart would have left a resurrection crew with much to work with. Shellfish toxin. But the only TA awake in Straylight right now is Lady 3 Jane Marie France. There's a male, couple years older, in Australia on business. You ask me, I bet Wintermute found a way to cause that business to need this 3 Jane's personal attention. But he's on his way home, or near as matters. The London lawyers give Australia as 0900 Tonight, we slot a Quang virus as 0233 It's 0445 and 20. Best estimate for Quang penetration of the TA core is 0830 or a hair on either side. I figure Wintermute's got something going with this 3 Jane. Or else she's just as crazy as her old man was. But the boy up from Melbourne know the score. The Straylight security systems keep trying to go full alert, but Wintermute blocks him. Don't ask me how. Couldn't override the basic gate program to get Molly in, though. Armitage had a record of all that on his Hosaka. Riviera must have talked 3 Jane into doing it. She's been able to fiddle entrances and exits for years. Looks to me like one of TA's main problems is that every family bigwig has riddled the banks with all kinds of private scams and exceptions. Kinda like your immune system falling apart on you. Ripe for virus. Looks good for us once we're past that ice.
Okay, but Wintermute said that arm. A white lozenge snapped into position, filled with a close-up of mad blue eyes. Case could only stare. Colonel Willie Cordo, Special Forces, Strike Force Screaming Fist, had found his way back. The image was dim, jerky, badly focused. Cordo was using the Haniwa's navigation deck to link with the Hosaka in Marcus Garvey. Case, I need the damage reports on Omaha Thunder. Say I, Colonel. Hang in there, boy. Remember your training. But where have you been, man? He silently asked the anguished eyes. Wintermute had built something called Armitage into a catatonic fortress named Cordo. Had convinced Cordo that Armitage was the real thing, and Armitage had walked, talked, schemed, bartered data for capital, fronted for Wintermute in that room in the Chiba Hilton. And now Armitage was gone, blown away by the winds of Cordo's madness. But where had Cordo been those years, falling burned and blinded out of a Siberian sky? Case, this will be difficult for you to accept, I know that. You're an officer, the training, I understand. But, Case, as God is my witness, we have been betrayed. Tears started from the blue eyes. Colonel Ahu, who's betrayed us? General Girling, Case. You may know him by a code name. You do know the man of whom I speak. Yeah, Case said, as the tears continued to flow. Sir, he added on impulse. But, Sir Colonel, what exactly should we do? Now, I mean, our duty at this point, Case, lies in flight, escape, evasion. We can make the Finnish border nightfall tomorrow. Treetop flying on manual, seat of the pants, boy. But that will only be the beginning. The blue eyes slitted above tan cheekbones slick with tears. Only the beginning. Betrayal from above. From above. He stepped back from the camera, dark stains on his torn twill shirt. Armitage's face had been mask-like, impassive, but Cordo's was the true schizoid mask, illness etched deep in involuntary muscle, distorting the expensive surgery. Colonel, I hear you, man. Listen, Colonel, okay, I want you to open the, what's it called, Dix?
The mid-bay lock?
The flatline said. Open the mid-bay lock. Just tell your central console there to open it, right? We'll be up there with you fast, Colonel. Then we can talk about getting out of here. The lozenge vanished.
Boy, I think you just lost me there.
The flatline said. The toxin. Case. The fucking toxin. And jacked out. Back from the meat world with bad news about Armitage, Case finds the construct unsentimental as ever.
Get what you went for.
The construct asked. Quang grade Mark 11 was filling the grid between itself and the TA ice with hypnotically intricate traceries of rainbow, lattices fine as snow crystal on a winter window. Wintermute killed Armitage, blew him out in a lifeboat with a hatch open.
Tough shit,
the flatline said.
Weren't exactly asshole buddies, were you?
He knew how to unbond the toxin sacks.
So Wintermute knows too? Count on it.
I don't exactly trust Wintermute to give it to me. The construct's hideous approximation of laughter scraped Case's nerves like a dull blade.
Maybe that means you're getting smart.
He hit the Simstem switch. At the face of the target ice, something walks out to meet them across the bridge of light, and the flat line names his price. The Chinese program was face to face with the target ice, rainbow tints gradually dominated by the green of the rectangle representing the TA cores. Arches of emerald across the colorless void. How's it go, Dixie?
Fine. Too slick. Things amazing. Shoulda had one that time in Singapore. Did the old New Bank of Asia for a good 50th of what they were worth. But that's ancient history. This baby takes all the drudgery out of it. Makes you wonder what a real war would be like. Now,
If this kind of shit was on the street, we'd be out of job. Case said.
you wish. Wait till you're steering that thing upstairs through black ice.
Sure. Something small and decidedly non-geometric had just appeared on the far end of one of the emerald arches. Dixie.
Yeah, I see it. Don't know if I believe it.
A brownish dot, a dulled gnat against the green wall of the TA cores. It began to advance across the bridge built by Quang Grade Mark 11, and Case saw that it was walking. As it came, the green section of the arch extended, the polychrome of the virus program rolling back, a few steps ahead of the cracked black shoes.
Gotta hand it to you, boss.
The flat line said, when the short, rumpled figure of the Finn seemed to stand a few meters away.
I never seen anything this funny when I was alive.
But the eerie non-laugh didn't come. I never tried it before. The Finn said, showing his teeth, his hands bunched in the pockets of his frayed jacket. You killed Armitage? Case. Cordo, yeah. Armitage was already gone. Had to do it. I know. You want to get the enzyme. Okay, no sweat. I was the one gave it to Armitage in the first place. I mean, I told him what to use. But I think maybe it's better to let the deal stand. You got enough time. I'll give it to you. Only a couple hours now, right? Case watched blue smoke billow in cyberspace as the Finn lit up one of his Partagas. You guys, the Finn said. You're a pain. The flatline here, if you were all like him, it would be real simple. He's a construct, just a bunch of ROM, so he always does what I expect him to. My projections said there wasn't much chance of Molly wandering in on Ashpool's big exit scene. Give you one example. He sighed. Why'd he kill himself? Why's anybody kill himself? The figure shrugged. I guess I know, if anybody does, but it would take me 12 hours to explain the various factors in his history and how they interrelate. He was ready to do it for a long time, but he kept going back into the freezer. Christ, he was a tedious old fuck. The Finn's face wrinkled with disgust. It's all tied in with why he killed his wife. Mainly you want the short reason. But what sent him over the edge for good and all? Little 3 Jane figured a way to fiddle the program that controlled his cryogenic system. Subtle, too. So basically she killed him, except he figured he'd killed himself, and your friend the Avenging Angel figures she got him with an eyeball full of shellfish juice. The Finn flicked his butt away into the matrix below. Well, actually, I guess I did give 3 Jane the odd hint, a little of the old how to you know. Wintermute. Case said, choosing the words carefully. You told me you were just a part of something else. Later on you said you wouldn't exist, if the run goes off and Molly gets the word into the right slot. The Finn's streamlined skull nodded. Okay, then who we gonna be dealing with then? If Armitage is dead, and you're gonna be gone, just who exactly is going to tell me how to get these fucking toxin sacks out of my system? Who's gonna get Molly back out of there? I mean, where exactly are all our asses gonna be? We cut you loose from the hardwiring. The Finn took a wooden toothpick from his pocket and regarded it critically, like a surgeon examining a scalpel. Good question, he said finally. You know salmon. Can a fish? These fish, see they're compelled to swim upstream. Got it. No, Kay said. Well, I'm under compulsion myself, and I don't know why. If I were going to subject you to my very own thoughts, let's call them speculations, on the topic, it would take a couple of your lifetimes, because I've given it a lot of thought, and I just don't know. But when this is over, we do it right, I'm going to be part of something bigger. Much bigger. The Finn glanced up and around the matrix. But the parts of me that are me now, that'll still be here, and you'll get your payoff. Case fought back an insane urge to punch himself forward and get his fingers around the figure's throat, just above the ragged knot in the rusty scarf. His thumbs deep in the Finn's larynx. Well, good luck, the Finn said. He turned, hands in pockets, and began trudging back up the green arch.
Hey, asshole,
The flatline said, when the Finn had gone a dozen paces. The figure paused, half-turned.
what about me? What about my payoff?
You'll get yours, it said. What's that mean? Case asked, as he watched the narrow tweedback recede.
I want to be erased.
The construct said.
I told you that, remember?
Jacked back in between crises, Case gets the construct's gallows humor.
You having fun in the big world outside?
The construct asked when Case jacked back in.
Figured that was Wintermute requesting the pleasure.
Yeah, you Kwang okay?
Bang on killer virus?
Okay, got some snags, but we're working on it.
You want to tell me maybe?
Don't have time.
Well, boy, never mind me, I'm just dead anyway.
Fuck off, Case said, and flipped, cutting off the torn fingernail edge of the flatline's laughter. Kwang has dug into the deck for good, so Case has to haul the dead man bodily into stray light and plug him back in.
Hey,
The construct said.
old Peter's totally apeshit, huh?
They seemed to be part of the Tessier, Ashpool ice now. The emerald arches had widened, grown together, become a solid mass. Green predominated in the plains of the Chinese program that surrounded them. Getting close, Dixie.
Real close, need you soon.
Listen, Dix. Wintermute says Kwang set itself up solid in our Hosaka. I'm going to have to jack you and my deck out of the circuit, haul you into Straylight, and plug you back in. Into the custodial program there, Wintermute says. Says the Kwang virus will be all through there. Then we run from inside through the Straylight net.
Wonderful.
The flatline said.
I never did like to do anything simple when I could do it ass backwards.
Case flipped. Reconnected inside the Straylight net, the construct picks up exactly where he left off, no time having passed for the dead.
What kept you?
The flatline asked and laughed. Told you don't do that, Case said.
Boy,
The construct said.
0 time lapse for me. Let me see what we got here.
The Kwang program was green, exactly the shade of the TA ice. Even as Case watched, it grew gradually more opaque, although he could see the black, mirrored shark thing clearly when he looked up. The fracture lines and hallucinations were gone now, and the thing looked real as Marcus Garvey, a wingless antique jet, its smooth skin plated with black chrome.
Right on.
The flatline said. Right, Case said and flipped. And then they are inside on the final run, the flatline taking the stick to drive Kwang through one last time. And then they were inside.
Christ on a crutch.
The flatline drawled.
You do believe in taking your own good time, don't you, boy?
Kwang's ready.
Hot to trot.
Okay. He flipped. He tapped the switch again.
Kwang grade Mark 11 is hauling ass in 9 seconds, counting 7, 6, 5.
The flatline punched them up, smooth ascent, the ventral surface of the black chrome shark, a microsecond nick of darkness.
4, 3.
Case had the strange impression of being in the pilot's seat in a small plane. A flat dark surface in front of him suddenly glowed with a perfect reproduction of the keyboard of his deck.
2 and kick ass.
Headlong motion through walls of emerald green, milky jade, the sensation of speed beyond anything he'd known before in cyberspace. The Tessier, Ashpool ice shattered, peeling away from the Chinese program's thrust, a worrying impression of solid fluidity, as though the shards of a broken mirror bent and elongated as they fell. Christ, Case said, awestruck, as Kwang twisted and banked above the horizonless fields of the Tessier, Ashpool cores, an endless neon cityscape, complexity that cut the eye, jewel bright, sharp as razors.
Hey,
The construct said.
those things are the RCA building. You know, the old RCA building.
The Kwang program dived past the gleaming spires of a dozen identical towers of data, each one a blue neon replica of the Manhattan skyscraper. You ever see resolution this high? Case asked.
No, but I never cracked an AI, either.
This thing know where it's going.
It better.
They were dropping, losing altitude in a canyon of rainbow neon. Dix. An arm of shadow was uncoiling from the flickering floor below, a seething mass of darkness, unformed, shapeless.
Company.
The flatline said as Case hit the representation of his deck, fingers flying automatically across the board. The Quang swerved sickeningly, then reversed, whipping itself backward, shattering the illusion of a physical vehicle. The shadow thing was growing, spreading, blotting out the city of data. Case took them straight up, above them the distanceless bowl of jade, green ice. The city of the cores was gone now, obscured entirely by the dark beneath them. What is it?
An AI's defense system.
The construct said.
Or part of it. If it's your pal Wintermute, he's not looking real friendly.
Take it. Case. You're fast.
Now your best defense, boy, it's a good offense.
And the flatline aligned the nose of Quang's sting with the center of the dark below. And dove. Where's Dixie? What have you done with the flatline? McCoy Polly has his wish? The boy said and smiled. His wish and more. He punched you here against my wish, drove himself through defenses equal to anything in the Matrix. Now flip. And Case was alone in Quang's black sting lost in cloud. He flipped. Quang slid out of the clouds. Below him, the neon city. Behind him, a sphere of darkness dwindled. Dixie, you hear, man, you hear me? Dixie. He was alone. Fucker got you, he said, blind momentum as he hurtled across the infinite datascape. You gotta hate somebody before this is over, said the Finn's voice. Them, me, it doesn't matter. Where's Dixie? That's kinda hard to explain, Case.